Welcome to Franchise Empires.
Yeah, so I think a good place to start is just what you were doing professional before you became a franchisee and, why you ended up deciding to go into this recreation space where, bigger build outs and, just a kind of a bit of a different animal relative to your typical franchise that's in a strip mall.
Yeah, so I started my career more in corporate retail. So I worked for some major retailers in their buying departments, marketing, operations, etc. And so part of my responsibility would have been having a certain section of the store and being responsible for buying the inventory for that, and figuring out what the marketing plan was going to be, the financial plan, regarding it, anticipating customers' wants and needs and all those type of things. And I had a pretty good career doing that. And eventually I went into business for myself, selling that similar product to other retailers. So I became a wholesaler importer of those goods and was selling to lots of different retailers. And a friend, just came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm kind of thinking of going into business for himself," and thought that maybe we would be good, business partners, and I may have an interest. And I expressed some interest, and one of the opportunities that he brought to the table was an actual trampoline park. And this was in probably 2011. So the trampoline park space was very young at the time. And I really went to Discovery Day with that brand more in the mindset to protect my partner and his family, because, again, who even heard of an indoor trampoline park at the time? So I really wasn't sold on the concept, from the beginning. But, once I committed to go with him, I started to do some research, talked to a handful of franchisees that were in the system, talked to some of the senior management, and, started to turn the corner on the concept. So I went to Discovery Day, learned even more, and left with the idea of how many should I buy. And so I ended up buying 3 territories in 2011. And then over the next approximately 12, 13 years, scaled to 9 locations.
9 locations in that world too. What was your system-wide revenue just between your 9 locations, if you had to ballpark it?
Yeah, my system-wide sales were in the mid 20 million range.
Yeah, that's impressive. And what was it about this space that told you, hey, like there is longevity to it? Because I think if we're going to call it like an industry, right? There's been some peaks and valleys, and you've kind of seen it probably through like the heyday and then also the downside of COVID. Just what gave you the confidence that it's a business that can endure?
Yeah, well, first off, it just matched a lot of the things that where I was personally, and and for my family. We had I believe 3 kids at the time, and all young, and just trying to find activities for them to do that kept them off the devices and all those type of things. So I was super excited that it was something that had to do with kids, and it also could be something my kids would very much appreciate and kind of understand as they grew up. And so that was definitely a big part of it. Of course, the financial, side of it, but also kind of being somewhat of a pioneer at the time. There wasn't too many of them out there, but I was joining a system that had a lot of procedures in place, insurance and all those type of things to help me mitigate some of that risk.